Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Now in today's video we're going to be having a look at a 4-corner base shaker setup from Slip Angle. Now you're probably all familiar with base shakers, transducers, but for those of you that aren't, essentially what they are is speakers which you attach to your rig, and instead of emitting a sound they emit vibration. The simulator that you're using sends the signal to the base shakers, so when you go over curbs, bumps, RPMs, engine noise, all the telemetry from the simulator is transmitted to these speakers via a program called SimHub. So essentially, you can feel what the car's doing. When you go over bumps, curbs, you can actually feel it on your rig. Now, I've tried base shakers before, but they've never really been my thing, and they've never remained on the rig until now. So before we get into it, the necessary disclaimer: Slip Angle sent me this unit for free, so I didn't pay for it, although they don't see this video before it's published, nor do they have any input at all in what I say. And I'm not affiliated with Slip Angle in any way, shape or form. There's no affiliate links. There's no kickbacks to me. Nothing like that. So what you see is what you get. I'm just going to give you my opinions. So let's have a look at the product now. I'll try and put another scene on. There we go. So this is essentially what it is. So hopefully you can see my mouse there. So this is a plug and play kit. Kind of. It's not plug and play. You still need to tinker with the software, but you get all of the equipment needed to run the system on your computer. So you get an external USB sound card, you get a 4-channel amplifier, you get all of the speaker wire, you get 4 transducers, you get 4 mounts to mount them to your rig, and you get 4 vibration isolators. So everything you need to put it on your rig really is that straightforward. So we'll just scroll down a little bit now and you might be able to see a bit better what we get. So 7.1 surround sound card, a 50 watt per channel amplifier. You get 4 50 watt tactile transducers. You get 4 transducer mounts, and you get these spring style vibration isolators with these springs. Now I'll just change scene again very quickly. Now if you watch my seat there, can you see it moving? So my rig, my whole rig is on springs now, 2 at the rear and 2 at the front. So it's all kind of suspended on springs. It doesn't give you any kind of motion. That's just to stop the vibration being transmitted elsewhere around the room. There we go, back here. So then you get all the speakers, cables, mounting hardware to attach it all to your rig. So literally you don't need to go out and buy anything else. You buy this kit, put it on your rig, and away you go. You need SimHub, but that can be downloaded and used for free, although you can pay a small amount and get all the features within SimHub, which I highly recommend that you do. So we'll scroll down just a bit more, and this is what I meant about the vibration telling you what the car's doing with curbs. So because you've got one on each corner, so if your front right runs over the curb, you'll feel it on the front right part of your sim rig. Same with the rear left, etc, etc, etc. Tells you how to install it here, a little bit about frequencies, and these are actually the bits of kit that mount to your rig. These are these spring isolators with the mount. Really simple to put on, honestly, really simple to fit. Dead simple. If I can do it, anybody can. Now, talking about fitting, this goes under your sim rig. Now, it comes with 3 different types of spring. So by default, you've got the blue, which you use for the front. They're the weakest ones. And then there's a brown one in there, which are kind of the middle point. And then you've got these grey ones, which are the stiffer spring. Now, I've got a SimLab P1X, which is quite a heavy rig. I've also got the Asetek Invicta Wheelbase, which is quite heavy. I'm a big lad. I weigh 92 kilos. Seat, everything else on it, the gear shift mount, gear stick, all the rest of it. So I erred on the side of caution and I put in the grey springs. Now, I didn't even try the brown springs, so I don't know if I bottomed them out. I probably wouldn't, to be honest. But I did put the grey springs on and it's absolutely fine. So what I did, I lifted the rear of the rig, I put some aluminium profile underneath, then I mounted all the hardware to it. And then with the foot of the isolator, see if we can see a better picture of the foot of the isolator. There it is. So this foot of the isolator with the spring, I just sat that on the floor, then I lowered the rig on top of that, and I did exactly the same with the front. It was a bit of a pain to actually move the rig back into position with the rubber feet, just because they are rubber feet, and there's a little bit of movement in there because of the spring, but it just took a little bit of time shuffling the rig just to get it back into position. But there's no easier way of doing it than that, really. Even on your own, it's certainly doable. So it does come with some really good instructions, actually. Really good instructions. If you follow these steps, you're not going to go wrong at all. There's just one part of the instructions which I think you need to pay attention to, because I didn't. So it's kind of step 3 here, or step 2 and 3. Make sure that you measure the 30mm gap between the top of the mount and the bottom of this metal collar which houses the spring. Make sure you leave a 30mm gap, and that's it. So all of this top part here mounts to the rig. These are the parts that you leave on the floor to lower into, and you just attach it to the rig and away you go. And that's what it looks like when it's mounted to the rig. Hopefully there'll be a shot on screen now where you can see that. These are the springs that I talked about, and a full diagram of how to wire it up. Now, if you follow this, it is really, really simple. Like, really simple. Just follow those steps and it'll work. Really easy. And then there's also a tutorial on SimHub there, how to configure the sound card in Windows. Again, follow those steps, like follow these instructions, and you won't go wrong at all. Now, I'll quickly show you my SimHub profile. So you go on Shake It Bass Shakers, and these are the effects that I currently have. So road vibration, gear shift, road rumble, wheel lock, engine vibration, RPMs, and ABS. Now you can see I've got them at different strengths there on SimHub. And I've also got them on different strengths on the amplifier. So I've got the rear transducers turned down to around about 60%. I've got the front on 100%, the rear on 60%. The rear is lower just because it's right underneath my backside. It's a bit noisy, no, not noisier. There's a bit more vibration at the rear than there is at the front. So I've just turned it down on the amplifier just to kind of balance things out. And you can see here the frequency. The different frequencies mean the rumble is slightly different. So a lower frequency, a lower number, the rumble will be a bit duller, a bit more bassy, although you can't hear it. A higher frequency is a bit more high-pitched frequency, a high-pitched rumble, if that makes sense. So you can just tinker with this to your heart's content. Now, one of the things that I was concerned about was the noise from 4 transducers. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to play you a video of me driving around Alton Park. Now, there won't be any filters on the audio, so you're going to get the raw audio. So you'll be able to hear the computer in the background, everything else that's going on the rig, and you can just hear the rumble and how it sounds to the ear, really. And Julie, my other half, sits not too far away, through a couple of walls, admittedly, but she can't hear this at all. So I'll just play that video now so you can hear it. So it is quite quiet. It doesn't really emit that much noise at all. And when I'm driving with my headphones on, I can't hear it at all. Now, one thing to bear in mind, if you are a content creator and you want to use one of these systems, well, I'm using this microphone here now, and this is actually attached to the rig. And although you can't hear the noise, it actually picks up the rumble on the microphone. So I can't use this microphone where it's mounted now when I'm using the bass shaker kit. So I'm going to have to use a separate headset with a microphone attached until I come up with another solution. But that's just the way it goes. Not everybody's going to have this setup. If you don't create content, if you don't need a microphone, well, that's not going to bother you at all. But it's just something to bear in mind. If your microphone is attached to the rig, there's a good chance that that vibration is going to be transmitted to the microphone. So let's talk about price. So the price for this kit is $499 plus shipping. And I think to the UK, it's about $80 to get it shipped. So that works out around about £470. It's a lot of money, but it's a full kit. You don't need to go and buy anything else. Now, for context, I bought 2 of these transducers in December 2021. I made my own bass shaker butt kicker setup. I bought 2. I had one at the rear of the rig, just under the seat, and one at the front of the rig, just under the pedals. And I wasn't really blown away with that. I bought these 2 shakers, and I bought one of these knob sound external amplifiers there. So you can see the price of those. I didn't pay that for them. I think it was just under £100. So I paid nearly £200 for these transducers and 42 quid for the amplifier. Then I had to buy a small USB external sound card. Then I had to buy all the speaker cable. And of course, there was no mounts. There was none of the vibration isolators or anything like that. So this costs 470 quid. If you're going to buy these transducers on their own to do your own kit, that's 420 quid there. Then you've got to buy the amplifier. Well, even a cheap one there, that's 42 quid. So that's 460. Then you've got to buy the speaker cable, the USB sound card, and you don't get any mounts. You don't get the vibration isolators. So I think for 470 quid, all in, delivered, it's an absolute bargain if you are thinking of making this 4-corner bass shaker setup yourself. Why would you try and source all of the different parts yourself when you can get it cheaper from one place? I wouldn't have a clue what the best amplifier would be to run 4 of these bass shakers. I'm not an audio guy. I don't really know at all. So I wouldn't know what amplifier I would need. Although it's 50 watts, but I wouldn't know what was a good one and what was a bad one. I really wouldn't have a clue where to start buying my own stuff. So I think you'd be crazy to try and source it all yourself, unless you can get it a lot cheaper. I mean, this is on Amazon. You might be able to buy them a lot cheaper elsewhere, but to buy all the things on Amazon, put it all together, it's going to cost you well over the price that it would cost you to buy from Slip Angle. Would I recommend it? Well, it's attached to my rig right now, and I'm not taking it off. And I think that speaks volumes. If I'm going to use it on my rig and put up with the vibration through the microphone, or even consider changing my microphone so I can use this, well, I think that speaks volumes. When I've used butt kickers previously, did my own setup, I wasn't really blown away at all, but this is different. This feels really good. It feels really good. I like the way it looks. I really like the way it looks, although it doesn't really matter. But it's just nice having that on the rig, and you can configure it how you want it. And it works perfectly. It really does. So would I recommend it? Absolutely 100%. Now, I mentioned at the beginning, there's no affiliate links. I don't get any commission. So if you want to buy one of these, great. You will love it. If you don't want to buy one of these, don't buy it. It really doesn't matter to me. But all things considered, value for money, how it goes together, all the equipment that you get, how easy it was to put together and set up, it's a winner. Perfect. I'll leave a link down below to the Slip Angle website. Go and check it out. I want to say a massive thank you to Slip Angle for sending me this to test and have a look at. Now, I was looking at this product before Slip Angle reached out to me, so it had already got my attention. But I don't know whether I would have put my hand in my pocket because of the previous experiences that I've had with butt kickers and transducers. But if he turned around to me now and said, Dave, we're going to need that back, you can't keep it, I would probably buy it, to be honest. That's how much I like it. But hopefully this has been helpful in making you make an informed decision. Obviously, do your research, look at other videos and read up online. Don't just take my word for it. What do I know? But from sim racer who sim races every single day, that's had butt kickers before and dismissed them, this has changed my mind completely. As always, thanks for watching. Have a great week. See you later. Cheers.